This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
Hello. Welcome to This Call May Be Recorded, the show where we listen to customer service calls and coach them up. I'm Tatiana. I'm your host for the day, and we're joined by Alicia. I'm so happy you're here.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm excited to get to connect with you and get to listen to these phone calls. Dream come true.
I know it is. I know. I always tell people, like, there's nowhere else where we can be dorky and listen to customer service calls. Like, my friends don't want to hear it. I'm like, guys, but it's cool. What are you talking about? We all want to listen to customer service calls all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you guys, I am hosting today. My name is Tatiana, and I want to just introduce myself a little bit, get going since Zach is not here. And I'll just introduce myself. I am a coach and a trainer with Power Selling Pros, and I do in-person webinars. So I may have coached some of you, anyone that's watching this, and trained you at the beginning. And we are so crazy passionate about customer interactions over here. So I'm going to pass it over to Alicia and have her introduce herselves, and then we'll get going with some calls.
Well, thank you, Tatiana. I am like Tatiana as well. I was a coach for a few years here at Power Selling Pros. And then I was able to move over into our training department where we get to work with amazing companies in the home service industry. So we get to introduce them to Power Selling Pros and our curriculum. And I have also moved over into the marketing side of things. So we get to do a lot of the operations for our marketing and sales team, which is really cool. I'm excited to be here.
Absolute baddie at it. Golly, you've got so much that you do, Alicia. So you're awesome.
Thank you. It keeps me busy, and I love being busy. Good busy. Good busy. Not
Good
too
busy.
much busy. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Let's listen to a call. Let's just kick it off and get going.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys.
And then I would like to know, while you're getting that loaded and ready to go, who's joining us? Where are you joining us from? Let us know how you found us. What city are you calling in from? If you're with a company, what company are you listening with? How many of you are here? Roll call.
Roll call.
I live in Idaho, in case anyone wants to know.
I wanted to know.
Tatiana's like, where?
Where in Idaho? Give me your address.
Yes. 1, Orange County, New York. Perfect. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Fort Myers. Hey, Lana. It's good to see you guys.
Okay, I've got this call up here.
And real quick, will you share this? Will you guys go in and share this? And make sure that you share with your friends on Facebook. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, go over to our Facebook and share this video, because we want more people hopping on. We love feedback. We love people chiming in, giving us your opinions as well, what you're hearing, what you like, what maybe opportunities you hear. So please take a minute to share. Thank you. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hop over and share. But Tatiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always share. Thank you, Barbara.
All right, you guys, we are making the most of this time and getting to know this presentation very, very well. So I'm sharing my screen now. I got that part down. Look at me go. Okay, then I also want to make sure my audio is shared. So if anyone is having a hard time hearing this, please let us know so that we can make sure we're getting the most out of this. I'm going to press play now and let's make sure we can hear it.
Okay, let me see what we have.
Might just need to restart that one. Yeah, I can hear it.
You can hear it? Okay.
Well, I can hear it because I'm hanging out in here with you.
I hope everyone can hear it.
Can everyone hear that? Give us a thumbs up. Give us some hearts, some likes. Let us know.
I could hear it. I have all hearts. Let's try. I'm going to play a little bit more of it, and then we can go from there.
This is Liz. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to schedule an annual heating and tune-up.
For your furnace?
Yes,
Okay, let me see what we have. Let me get in here. What is your address?
right.
And what is your name, sir?
My name's David.
Have you ever gone with us before?
I don't know. Now the card was sent to my girlfriend. I'm just doing it for men.
What is your street
M-I-N,
address?
first name, last.
Let's pause right here as he's giving some of his demographics. What are you thinking about, Alicia?
I like to identify who our customer is first. I think that that's an important piece of the puzzle. So in the chat, tell us who is our demographic customer? Who is this? To me, it sounds like he's a little bit older. We have to be matching that pace and tone. He's going to be speaking a little bit slower. So that's what I'm thinking about. And I feel like we miss that opportunity right away to wow the customer. One of the things I really like to focus on, especially in coaching, is making sure that we're elevating the experience. We're creating that strong first impression right away. And so I'm curious, what's everyone's first impression? If you were to pick up the phone and you were the customer, what would your first impression be?
Barbara's like, it's kind of rough. I agree, Barbara. I agree. It is a little bit rough. Alicia, do you feel like why don't we feel super confident in this CSR's ability to help right now? I mean, it could be just me, but there's not a whole lot of confidence inspired in me right now and her ability to help me. But why is that?
I think a big part of it is the connection. So Barbara said they didn't reassure and didn't empathize. Those are definitely things we need to get to, and I think they'll come. But I think what's missing right away is that wow factor. I want to talk with you. I want to connect with you. I have nothing going on today. I've been waiting for this call all day. Mm-hmm. I feel like we didn't get that. I feel like maybe the CSR had a lot going on. She took the call and she was trying to multitask. And you can kind of hear that she goes,
Yeah.
Which
right.
tells me I'm listening, but I'm also doing something on this side.
I also love when she says, have you ever used us before? I mean, like the way she says it, what does it tell us?
What it tells me is I can't find you. I don't know if you're a real customer.
Right.
Now I have feelings about this question, and I may be a little bit more passionate about this question than most coaches, but what I hear as a consumer when I hear this is, I don't know if I can help you. And so does that matter? Is that something that really matters? Is that something we should be asking? Have we ever helped you before? Mm-hmm. Because what you're telling me is, I don't know if I can help you. I have to find your account. And what's really going on is the customer needs help. So why is the customer calling? What did he say he needed help with?
Right. I agree with that. So I would say it sounds like we all agree positivity and preparedness, which are our two first principles in the pattern for excellence, did not really take that first step into this call. There's not a whole lot of positivity. There's not a whole lot of preparedness. Therefore, because if we understand positivity, we know that positivity attracts people. That's important because likability is an important step into creating lasting relationships. And we also know that there was no confidence inspired, which is what it means to be prepared. Yeah. If we don't have that starting out, it's really hard to trust any other solution that's offered to you throughout the rest of the entire call, right? It's really hard to trust that. So I agree with you. I like what Barbara said too. Every customer should feel like they're the number one priority and that no other customer exists, right? Like you are my number one.
And that is what we teach here at Power Selling Pros. We say, or we'll ask, who's the most important customer at any given time? Mm-hmm. It's the one you're currently speaking with. Yeah. No one wants to feel like a number. No one wants to feel like it's a transaction or that you just have to hurry and do your job.
Yeah.
We're here to help our customers. We should be making that a priority.
Did you ever watch This Christmas with Chris Brown? It's like one of my favorite
Oh
Christmas
my gosh.
time.
No, but I probably will need to go do that now.
Yeah, you will. Absolutely, Alicia. Go do that right now.
Come over to my house. We'll have some hot cocoa. We'll watch this.
Yay! And it's in Idaho. I know that now. So I'll be headed there your way.
Nice.
I'm in Utah. We're not that far. So in this movie, one of my favorite parts is when the mom they're all like, it's the, the big family, they're adult children. They've all come home for the holidays and they're all like fighting for the mom's attention at one point. And she says something like, my favorite kid is the one I'm talking to at that time. And it's just the cutest thing in the whole world. Like customer service. My dear knows. We should know, y'all. We should know. All right, let's
I put it on my things to do. So
Okay,
this Christmas.
Good. I like your priorities and where they're at.
Yes.
do it.
I always trust your recommendations. They're
Thank you. Thank you. As you should. As you should.
I do.
Yeah, here we go.
MIN. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is not her. This isn't.
No, it's because on the card it's got.
Did we do her install? Because she's not coming out. We could book somebody to go out there. I'd have to add you in here, but it probably won't be from until the end of March, beginning of April.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, we're really
'cause
booked up.
we need
Okay.
something before then.
Pause. Why are you chuckling, Miss Tatiana?
Well, two things are going through my head right now. One, his absolute, like, there's never been a more frustrated, oh God, like, he's so upset. I know. Oh, Barbara, she's like, the longer this goes on, the more I'm cringing. That is so funny. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first thought. The second thought is I cannot be the only person that just wants to hear him say, I will find you. And I will kill you. Right?
I have a specific set of skills.
Yeah.
I will find you.
I'll find you and I will kill you. Liam Neeson, right there.
Yes, I'm pretty sure this is Liam Neeson.
I think so.
One thing I do want to really emphasize here is I really, really appreciate the opportunity to work with these CSRs. And I feel like this is one of the first, I don't know, I would say like this is a baby, right? Like this is a baby CSR who's just coming to Power Selling Pros. And so what she's doing is not anything wrong. This is what the industry has taught. The industry has said, all you have to do is pick up the phone, take their information, and book the call. But we can hear the difference between that. So if the CSR is listening to this and she goes back, I really hope that she knows we're on her side. And the reason why we're dissecting this is because we see it all the time. And we want to bring that awareness into the industry that this is the standard your customers are expecting. They expect you to book the call. But what tends to happen is CSRs are not trained. They're not instructed on what they need to do to elevate the experience. And so then it becomes their fault if they're not booking calls. It's really no fault at all. We have to do the training. We have to show up for our team members. And we have to get these CSRs, we have to be their support, right? We're here for you. We're here to cheer you on. So I just want to make sure that we put that border around this. And I don't want that CSR to be like, hey, how dare you? I was brand new. I was only starting Power Selling Pros.
Right.
Today. So I just want to make sure
that was her first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's right. All right, let's keep going.
Oh.
We're actually having some water leakage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't because we're really booked up for now. So yeah, we would get probably end of March, beginning of April.
Okay. I just have to find somebody else, I guess.
Okay, sir. Have a wonderful day. Call us
Okay.
back if you need to. Okay.
Why
All
don't
right,
we why don't we set it up?
I'm impressed by him and his initiative.
Okay, so spell her first name and last name again.
M-I-N first name, second name. Yes.
So
what's
just so everyone
Cindy?
knows, these are edited.
We're on your mailing list. I got the yellow card here.
Oh, for the $59 tune-up? Is that it? Hello?
All right, I'm gonna pause it right there. Yeah, Barbara, you were totally right. There needed to be something else in here. Standby list, urgency list, move up list, any kind of list. Like, tell me something. Alicia, I'd love to ask you this question. Why is it important to have a list, urgency list, standby list, whatever you call it? Why is that important instead of just saying, I'll just let you know if anything opens up?
Well, for those of you who don't know me, let me share a little insight. I have ADHD, and I would love to remember every single thing that runs through my brain, but the likelihood of that happening is very small. I have so many things happening that I'm like, okay, I'll just make a mental note. Chances are my mental note will disappear. If I put it on a sticky note, it's probably going to disappear with the other 20 sticky notes that I have. So we strongly encourage that you are using some kind of format to include your whole team so that they know who to track down, they know who to call. If you don't write it down and you don't put it in some kind of priority, then you're never going to remember. And then that customer may call you back and go, hey, you put me on your standby list a week ago. I'm just wondering where I'm at. And if we respond with, oh, good question. You're number 10. You're just going to lose a lot of customers that way. And then, as you were saying earlier, that lack of confidence. Your customers are going to go, I don't know, if you can't even keep track of a phone call, how are you going to come into my house and maintain my system? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't want to be your sticky note because, like, look at my desk right now. Y'all don't want to see the sticky notes that are supposed to be reminding me of stuff. All right.
I found out that my computer has sticky notes. I think someone said that in one of our meetings. So, like, you can put sticky notes on your computer.
Yeah, like the app. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like stickies on your computer.
Yeah,
one other thing I want to emphasize, and I hear all the time, is that, sorry, I read Barbara's comment at the same time. Should have been bumped up because of the leaking. Yes. You have water leaking? Oh my gosh, that's not good. Right. But one thing that I hear quite often is we over-explain. We think our customers need to know all of the details on why we can't help them, and your customers don't care. As much as we hope that they did, or that allow us some grace, your customers don't need to know that you're busy until April, or that your schedule's really full, because what you're telling them is you're not a priority anymore. So it's really important for us to not over-explain, and the way we avoid that is by asking questions about the situation. Oh my gosh, I have water leaking. That's not good. Tell me more. When did you notice that?
Yeah. Over-explaining, and it comes from such a good place, because in our minds and our hearts, we're like, I'm doing this because I want to be open. I want to be honest. I want them to know the situation so they understand. But what is truly unfortunate, but also the case, is that our explaining oftentimes sounds like an excuse or even defensiveness at the right moment.
Yeah.
And so even though we have the intent of filling people in, making sure they're like almost wanting them to be part of the team, like, let me tell you exactly why I'm going to do this, that you got to be careful with what you share, because like Alicia said, it's just not always taken that way, even though it's meant well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important thing to understand too. So it's like, and it goes back to just focusing on the solution, right? I don't know, this is your first time watching. That's a big thing we talk about here at Power Selling Pros. It's always focus on the solution instead of the problem. But like Barbara mention the standby list, the urgency list. That's our solution. And then bring up the problem, which would be, getting you on the soonest availability, which right now is in March, as she had said.
Yeah.
What was this called? Take it. Goodness gracious. All right.
Yeah. And keep it positive. Very true.
Yeah. All right. How much time is left in this call? We've just got about 30 seconds left, and then we'll go on to the next.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the zip code there? And what is the telephone number we can call just in case?
Area code.
Mm-hmm. And your name?
My name's David.
Got it here. Okay. All right. I'll book it and find a date for you and call you back. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call you back. One moment.
Okay.
Did anyone else go like this?
I know. I know. I'm thinking over here. Good thing David is so proactive because he wanted to get on the schedule more than it sounded like she did. So I'm glad we got there eventually. But I think that calls like this is where you are grateful. You got good luck. You got lucky. Excuse me. You got lucky in this situation because he was pushing so hard for it. It's important you're always asking for the appointment, even when we may not meet their expectation. But at least give them the choice to think about it, to consider. Because a lot of those fence sitters are going to sit there until you hang up the phone. And they're not going to take the initiative that David, that was him?
Is it
This guy.
Liam? David Liam.
David Liam.
Another thing I just am constantly hearing throughout this is that there's a lot of reactive behavior. And so there's a lot of proactive things that you can do to avoid reactive behavior. And so by taking that moment to really sit and listen and be present and be focused, will avoid a lot of the reactive behavior. So the reactive behavior I heard here was the customer was still like, well, can you at least schedule something?
Yeah.
And she was like, I mean, sure, I'll call you back later and see if we can find an appointment. But we definitely want to avoid those types of reactive conversations. And the way we avoid that is be proactive about it. Yeah.
So true. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're gonna share. That is the wrong button. Okay.
How can I help you?
Yes, Abby, I'm just returning a call that I got from yesterday regarding furnace, my unit maintenance.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely help you with that. And does this happen to be Bruce on?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So let me take a quick peek here because I believe that was my coworker, and she typically leaves some notes in here for me. And it is up for maintenance. It looks like the last time we were out, you had us do both maintenances at once, a heating and a cooling visit. And so if you'd like to do that same thing, we haven't changed our price at all. So it'd be a $199, and that would cover a maintenance on your air handler and heat pump.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay, let's pause. What's on your mind?
That was a lot of information all at once.
Yeah, it was.
I really like the energy. I agree with Barbara. She said it's off to a good start. And I think part of that is just the energy, right? She made me smile right away. I heard her use his name right away, but it felt like there was a lot of information all at once without really taking time to ask the customer, like, hey, how's your system been running?
Mm-hmm.
When we ask questions like that, they will build their own value, and it's an easier buy-in for your customer because they're going to self-discover how it's already benefited them when we ask that question. Like, awesome, I see we were out there 6 months ago. How's your system been running?
Yeah. And it's a little bit of a happy call too. It's like, let's gauge their level of comfort right now before I jump into a solution so that I know I'm focusing on the right solution.
Definitely. You don't want the reactive behavior, which could be, oh, actually it wasn't working, and I thought if you guys come out and do a maintenance, it'll fix it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think a lot of customers hope that that's the case. They're like, well, I haven't done a maintenance in like 5 years, so I probably just need to do maintenance.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important because in our minds, when a call starts, I like to think of maintenance as a really good example for any company that has a maintenance plan of some sort, and they do like HVAC specific. They do that a lot. So when someone calls in and the first thing out of their mouth is, hey, I just need to do my tune-up, right? It can be really quick. In our minds, we're thinking that's going to be a quick call. We've just planned the entire trajectory of this call. We know exactly what's going to happen through the rest of the call. And we know what technician we're sending out. We know the price conversation. We know when we're available, which isn't for a month because we're scheduling a month out for those. right? We have this idea. And if we continue the call with that in mind, without fully understanding the situation, we may find ourselves having to go back, assign a different technician, pick a different time, and quote a completely different price. Everything is just changed because we didn't fully understand the problem at the beginning.
Amen.
Woo!
Amen. Woo!
It's coming to my
And I get an amen.
talk.
I-
My talk. That should be a thing. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I love it. If you guys listen very closely, you're going to hear a lot of Tatiana-isms. She has some of the best of them, and this is why I love hanging out with her. And I wish that she lived in Idaho or I lived in Utah with her, so that we could be buddies all day.
Dude, it would be. It'd be all day. It'd be all day.
Her and her kids are the coolest kids ever. So,
Oh, you're so cute. Thank you.
oh yeah, of course. Well, I definitely agree with you there, and I think that outlines like there's more reactive behavior the more you assume. And one thing we definitely don't want to do is assume. Assume we know the caller, assume we know their story, assume we know that they're going to be okay waiting for a month or that they're going to be okay with the next available. We can't assume. We all know what happens when we assume, right?
Say it. Say it. Just kidding. Don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
You guys are all saying it at
We're
your
so
house, in
professional.
your office.
We're very professional here all the time. Okay, let's keep going. She is off to a good start, though. I agree. She sounds really sweet, and you can tell she's really nailing that idea of, do I sound like I want to help? She's embodying that for sure. Let's keep going.
Definitely.
Fantastic. And are you having any sort of issues or anything we need to notate for the technician whenever he comes out there?
No issues or anything. Everything's working fine.
Hey, she did
We
that.
like to hear that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the schedule. I know we are looking into April. Is there any particular days or times that work best for you at all?
We're retired, so
Okay.
we kind of like mornings.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me flip through our schedules here and see when my next morning appointment time is.
Why are you clapping? Tell me what you were thinking.
I love that she asked his time expectation, but she also set the standard. So she
Mhm.
didn't say, all right, when are you available? Which is something that we definitely want to get their time frame, but she did it with a boundary. So she goes, we're looking at April. When are you free?
Mhm.
And I think that's where a lot of CSRs struggle. They're like, I have to ask their time expectation, but they're going to say tomorrow and I'm a month out.
Yeah.
And so I don't think there's anything wrong with giving that time frame before you ask the question so that they know.
Yeah. So we give the time frame and we end with an open-ended question. So it ties together the boundary, like you said, and makes them feel like they're in, like it gives them that power back to tell us what they want, while also, you know, avoid or being more proactive instead of reactive.
But with maintenance, don't do that with service.
Okay.
maintenance.
Why? Why not?
With a service call, they might need someone sooner. And if I say we're booking in April, or we're scheduling for the next week, what your customer's hearing is something different. You can't get to me for a week.
Mhm.
And so I'll allow it, right, for a maintenance. But for a service, I would definitely say, I know you said you needed someone right away, or this sounds really important. Tell me your time frame. What's your availability like?
Mhm.
And I'd go that route for a service call
Yeah, I
versus
agree.
maintenance.
I agree. I like that. All right, you guys, we have about 3 minutes left in this call. I'll try and skip through some of the parts if we're getting logistics and listen to the rest of it. Here we go.
30 to 2:30.
Schedule.
Check morning here.
Whisper narrating, my favorite.
I do like the narration. That's true.
I like narrating. Gotta be mindful of the whisper narrating.
So I can get you in on the week of the 17th in the morning. I could do that Monday, or also later in the week as well. But that would be, the first appointment would be at 8 a.m., 8 to 10 appointment time. He'd be there right around 8 o'clock.
That'll be fine.
Awesome. You want to go ahead and do that Monday the 17th?
So May the 17th between 8 and 10.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. Then I've got that on our schedule. That'll be with our technician, Brendan. He's our dedicated maintenance tech, so you'll be in great hands with him, and I will have him give you a call whenever he's headed that way.
What was his name? Brendan?
Yes, Brendan.
Okay. Well, good then. So between 8 and 10 o'clock.
Yes. Oh, and because we're doing both services, the confirmation will go out. It'll say 8 to 11, just because we have two units to maintenance.
Okay. Very good.
Awesome.
Well,
Well, thank you so much for the
good.
call back, Bruce.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So there's a little value. I approve. I like that she said, I'm going to send out. She knew who she was sending. And then I liked her gratitude statement at the end. She used the customer's name. Thank you for calling us back, Bruce.
You know, and she just sounds sweet as can be. She was
Just
so
want to give her a hug.
I know. And you can, yeah, I really feel like her tone and positivity was like the shining star of this whole call. She just sounded sweet as can be the whole time. Thank you for the clarification, Barbara. I'm going to pop this up again, but she mentioned there's a difference between maintaining and service call, because service calls could be an emergency, which is what, ties back to what you were saying, Alicia.
Yeah, definitely. And in which we would maybe use like a high priority list or your urgency list for a service call.
Yeah.
Rather than just a maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any
Well,
last
awesome.
thoughts?
This was really fun. Last thought is, again, just giving everyone grace. We know that no one's perfect. I'm sure that we all have our opportunities out there. We all have strengths. We all have things we're really good at. And then we have things that we can work on. And so this isn't about calling anyone out about where their weaknesses are. It's just bringing more awareness to how we can improve and how we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just grateful that I could be here and offer insight, offer my opinion.
I love your insight, Alicia. You always have awesome insight. So thank you for being here. I think these were good calls. These were fun ones to review. We'll wrap up, but it was really fun. Thanks, guys, for attending our episode 65 of This Call May Be Recorded, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.